Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I don't know why, for whatever reason, when I initially start these videos, I guess I have to start it off with me at the stage. That's probably what I'm forgetting to do. But anywho, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. And welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hearts channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot mother freaking topics. So now that I have you here and you guys can actually hear me, you all know that I love doing my show reviews. You guys know that I love doing my show reviews. It's actually one of the things that I enjoy because then we get the opportunity to talk our junk. And in doing so, I can hear everybody's feedback and get everybody's opinion on how they feel about the shows that we are. Oh, sorry, you guys. I can get an opportunity to hear everybody's feedback in regards to the shows that we are tuned in. And one of the shows that I am tuned into is the Impact ATL. You know, these young ladies and the other gentlemen that are on the show, they have intrigued me in a way where I'm like, let's see what's going on. I guess I'll give this show a watch. Okay, so now I wanted to hear what you guys' opinion was about the show. So I said, well, let me give you some feedback on what I saw and you can let me know. I know you guys are going to kill me because I didn't send out any links to this or anything. I just got up here and recorded it. But in any event, I'll send the link out after. I just wanted to go live and get it out the way. So, at the moment, we are talking about the Impact ATL season 3, episode 5. The name of the episode is called DJ Spins and Drama Begins. Hey, Pookie. The episode starts with Carly, and she's going to get a cover up of her Jeffrey tattoo. Jeffrey being Young Thug. And I was just looking at that because from what I'm hearing, Young Thug and Carly have an extensive history. Right. From what I hear, they've been together like they used to be together for like almost 10 years or something like that. So I was like, wow, and him having a situation and being incarcerated these last 2 years and now him being home and free. I wonder if she corresponds with him. I can understand that being a whole journey for her. But anyway, she's going to get the tattoo covered up because according to her, she's ready to move forward, right? Afterward, close that chapter of her life. Afterwards, you see Tucson and he's spending time with his best friend and the baby, and yada yada yada. So then you see Tori Bricks, Ari, and light skin Keisha. They are going eyewear shopping. Right. So and they in this cute little boutique. First Tori gets there, then Ari gets there, and they start talking about both of their men are on tour. Both of their men are on tour, so they're asking each other, like, what is your routine that you do when your man gets home? Because I can imagine him being on tour and you not seeing him for all that time. You might put something together where he's like, oh shit, I missed you. So Ari show her little dances of what she do when her baby comes home. It was so cute, right? So as they talk, and they like, where the hell is Keisha? She's always late. And then Keisha comes in and she's like, listen, I got a baby. The baby is still a baby. The baby requires a lot of baby in, and I'm the mama. So y'all can anticipate me being late for quite a few things, right? So anywho, Tori was like, she just wanted to talk to them because she want to put together a pool party. And she said she's putting this pool party together to showcase her DJ skills for the director of culture of the Thompson Hotel in Buckhead, Atlanta, right? His name is Jason. And she was like, the reason why she's doing so is because she's trying to get her residency at the Thompson Hotel. So when Tori explained what she was trying to do, I was like, Tori is a really, really smart girl. So basically, what she was saying was that when DJs have a home, that makes them more desirable and other people want to book them. And she was like, so having a home at the Thompsons as at the Thompson Hotel and a residency would make her not only more desirable, but it will also make it would they would also make sure she has constant business, right? And then she also said, which I had no idea, she was like, the Thompson is in quite a few places. And when I looked it up, it is. It's not only in Atlanta, it's in New York, it's in Texas, it's in Cabo, it's in Madrid. So I was like, that makes sense for her to be the resident DJ because then she could be flying all over the world doing parties for them and so on and so forth. And she also said, she was like, listen, my boo is away on tour. He's handling his business. He's bringing in our family money and doing what he have to do. I have to do what I have to do for our family too. I don't just want to sit here like a lump on a log and make it look as though I'm just wasting my time here in Atlanta partying. So she was like, and I'm ready to make my mark in the DJ world. So this is where I'm starting. So I was like, yeah, that was smart. That was very, very smart of Tori. I like that idea, right? So Keisha was like, speaking of businesses, me and my husband Coco, we're going to do a pop-up shop for our clothing brands. Now Keisha has a women's clothing brand called Baddies Club, Original Baddies Club, and Coca has a men's clothing brand called Merlin's Father. And she was like, for the pop-up shop, she wants Tori to DJ, and she's gonna have Tucson there with his hookah to sell, and just make a whole event of it, right? And she was like, running your own business is hard, but I'm ready to get this clothing brand off the ground because I got a lot of things in the fire that I'm trying to do, right? So then you heard the little boop in the back, and the eyewear place was giving them some complimentary champagne. And I was thinking to myself, they haven't even purchased anything yet, but that was cute and sweet for their business, especially with it being seen on the show, right? So they took a toast to new beginnings and successful women and being able to work together. And I thought that scene was really, really cute, and I liked it, right? In the next scene, you see Keisha and her husband, and they're going to meet up with Dave Bella. Remember, Dave Bella is the best friend of Carly, right? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dave Bella and Summer Walker's baby father have a baby together. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But anyway, so Dave Bella is also an event planner, and Keisha wants to use her for her pop-up shop, right? So they meet up, Keisha and Coco, her husband, and the baby. Oh, the baby is so handsome. They go meet up with Daybella, and Daybella is showing them a venue, right? So they going around the venue, they discussing what they want, what they don't want. Take this down, put that up. We could drape that, blah, 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 right? So after they finished talking about the venue, Daybella was like, well, I want to ask questions about this little messy friend group. She was like, that situation that went down the other day with Tori and Tucson, it kind of made me uncomfortable. What did you think about it? So I was thinking, like, I don't even remember what happened with Tori and Tucson. I more remember Tori and Sir Julian, but okay, I guess I got to go back and rewatch that episode. But Keisha was like, listen, that drama was unfortunate, but really and truly, girl, I don't give a damn about that. As long as that drama don't trickle on into this pop-up shop, because I have business to handle. One thing I like about light skin Keisha is she's always going to redirect the focus back to the business, right? And I'm not gonna lie, a part of me loves that about my Pookie, right? Because sometimes I tell you guys in every video that I do, I can get easily distracted. I can get easily distracted. And one thing about Pookie, he don't. So if he see me going, of course, he's like, hey, hi, that's great, but you need to come back to life and back to reality because we have things to discuss. And right now, what you're discussing has nothing to do with the business. So I do love that quality about Light Skin Keisha. I also love it about my Pookie. And it's also something that I aspire to do as well, because I don't want to be a person that gets easily distracted, especially in this day and age, right? So anywho, in the next scene, we see Tucson and his boo Mike. Now, you know what Mike gives me? Mike gives me, he could be related to PNB Rock. God rest his soul. Mike gives me a real PNB Rock vibe. If you look at him good, I don't know why, for whatever reason, he looks like he could be in PNB Rock family. And Mike also looked like he not here to play with Tucson. And he definitely proved that in this little scene right here. So anyway, Tucson is cooking in the kitchen. He said he's cooking Mike's favorite meal, chicken pasta, right? So Mike come in, he like, hey, what's up? Can I help? Do you need me to do anything? So Tucson was like, yeah, you could cut that up. So he was like, well, that's already cut up, so I'm not doing that. So clearly you don't need my help. Let me sit down, and it's a little nippy in here. Let me put something over me because I'm cold, right? So he sits down, and Tucson basically starts talking to Mike, and he's like, listen, I've been thinking about having a baby. And he was like, I have a best friend that I've been friends with for a number of years, and she has a baby, and she wants her baby to have a sibling, and I really want a family. So I was thinking I'm going to take my life in that direction. So when he said that, I automatically thought about Tucson as an independent cast member, because remember, Tucson came in as an extension of Ari. And really and truly, I was very shocked to see him become a permanent cast member. Even though he was very entertaining in the past, I just didn't know they would do that. So I didn't have him to think about. But now, if you do think about it, he is a permanent cast member. I would like to see some of his backstory. Where is Tucson's family? And I don't know if I missed that in prior seasons. I can't imagine I did. But I was just thinking, like, well, where is his family? How did he grow up? Does he have siblings? Where's his mom? Where's his dad? I started to think about some of those things because number one, it's no longer like he's just there as Ari's friend. He's his own cast member. So they should definitely get some more of his backstory. And also because the yearning for the family piece makes me want to know what type of family he comes from. So anyway, um, Mike was like, "What?" Basically, like, what do you what you're doing what with who? So he was like, "Listen, we've only been together for a year and a half, right?" He was like, "And adding these stipulations in our plans, that kind of seems like a lot." He was like, "I'm only 21 years old. I'm not ready to be in no family and have no baby, and also so on and so forth, right?" And he was like, "That's a lot for me." So I kind of feel away that you just coming in with these plans and basically saying this is what I'm gonna do without even consulting with me. He was like, "And when were you planning to do this?" And Tucson was like, "I was planning to do it next week." He was like, "Excuse me?" And I understood Mike because it was like you're making a life-changing decision and you're saying I'm your life partner, but you don't include me on that. That's some bullshit. And like Mike said, I'm only 21 years old. I don't know if I'm ready for that. And we've only been together a year and a half. So I don't know if we're ready for that. Another thing I see is that I don't know if this is going to be a storyline for the gay men because it on reality shows because I see that Zell tried this and it looked like it probably could have worked for him. So I feel like other gay men on reality TV may try to pick this storyline up as well. But let me also say this. I don't know if that is a real thing in the gay community. Right. And I want to be very, very honest. I don't know. Maybe that is a real thing in the gay community, right? Maybe same-sex relationships do want to produce children and they go outside looking and their spouse may not always agree. So if you are in the LGBTQIA plus community and you know anything about this, please drop down in the comments and let me know because I will have no knowledge about it. And because it's coming up so much on reality TV, I'm wondering if people are only A, just using it as a storyline, or B, this is a real thing in the gay community. Anywho, Mike just made it clear that listen, I'm 21. I ain't ready for no kids. I ain't get included in your plans. I feel like I was an afterthought, and I'm letting you know if you proceed with having a baby with your best friend, you will be single. I was like, woo. Mike stood on business. Mike stood on business. He was not here to play with Tucson. And you know what I will say? I liked how direct Mike was. I like how direct Mike was. Ain't no bullshit, ain't no BSing. Let me tell you how I feel, and then you let me know what you're gonna do from there. So anyway, moving on, the next day is the day of Tori Brick's pool party, right? And remember, she's trying to prove to the guy Jason from the Thompson Hotel that she's good enough to host other events so she can get the residency at Thompson. So then a little rain comes down. Oh, and I got a little nervous for Tori because, like I said, I think Tori has an excellent plan and I want this to work for Tori. So when it started raining, I got like a little nervous for her because I'm like, Dag, I don't want her plans to get messed up and Jason doesn't consider her for the residency. But God is so good. The rain kind of slowed up, and good, when it slowed up, the sun came out and the people came out too. So the cars pulling up, the vibes was vibing, Jason was there. It was looking like it was going to be a showdown, right? So then Sir Julian enters the chat. Okay. So now Sir Julian is there. He walks in. He got some homegirls with him. He's like, listen, let us get some skinny margaritas. And he's talking to another one of the guys there. I think this guy name is Freshie. I could imagine he's going to be seen more on the show next season because they keep showing him on episodes and then putting his name on the screen. So I guess we're going to see more of him. Right. And basically, he, again, oh my God. Sir Julian, in the end, I'm gonna get to how messy Sir Julian is, but he just is extremely messy. So he said to the guy freshly, "Oh yeah, yes, the vibes is vibing, but it's not like a Sir Julian party, sweetie. It's not a Sir Julian party." But anywho, I digress. So Tucson arrives, light skin Keisha arrives. She comes with her husband Coco. Daybella arrives, and Ari arrives. Right. So Jason, pretty much, in my opinion, he came, he saw, he looked around, he chilled, and then on his way out, Tori was like, "Thank you for coming." He was like, "No, it's cool. I think you did a good job. You definitely have a lot of lady friends that came out to support you." And he was like, "We'll just stay in conversation and see what things goes from here." So I got the impression that Jason wasn't completely sold. And I felt like he probably would have said to her in private without the cameras, they're like, "I might need to see you at a few more events to know if I really want to make that decision concrete." I also felt like for Tori, it wasn't a good idea to host a pool party and have him come. I feel like she probably should have DJ'd in a club and invited him so he could see that type of setting because I felt like the whole pool party thing, it was more like I'm having an event at my house and my people is coming through. Right. So of course your people was gonna vibe out to your stuff. I think if she would have invited him to where she was DJing at a club, it's like, okay, well, these is random people walking in. Let's just see if they're feeling you as a DJ and not just as your people, being one of your people, right? So I was like, but according to Tori was like, oh no, he loved me. And I'm signed and it's sealed and it's delivered. So I was like, okay, Tori, I didn't get that, but got you, girl. So they start toasting. They was like, we toasting to Tori at the Thompson and so on and so forth, right? Then the scene switched up and they showed Glossa, right? And Glossa, unfortunately, she couldn't attend the pool party because she has kids. She has kids, and they were showing her two sons, and she was like, listen, I'm out here in Atlanta from Memphis. I have no family here. So I can't be running around doing everything everybody else doing. I have to fucking work, right? Not only do I have to work, I have to be a mom. So her son's name is JC Lucky and Jersey Legend. Okay. So yes. So she was like, I really, really want to go and be out there shaking my ass. But unfortunately, that just was not something that I was permitted to do because listen, I have to watch these kids. So in order for me to be the best that I can be, I have to work and take care of these kids. And I'm like, no, I got it. And she also said, she was like, listen, their dads are not present. No shade, but they're sperm donors. The stork dropped these babies on my stoop because there's no other parents who help me, right? And that made me a little sad because I'm looking at Glossa. I don't know how old she is, but she looks incredibly young. Her kids look incredibly young, and then they both have two different fathers, and neither one of them, according to her, do shit. So that really made me a little sad for her. Like, wow, such a young girl with such huge responsibilities and having them on her own. So anyway, she was like, she's never going back to Memphis, so she has to make whatever's going to happen in Atlanta pop because she's not going back to Memphis. And then they flash back to the pool party. So at the pool party, at the pool party, hold on, let me just, because I gotta go to where, yeah, you right here, right? At the pool party. Oh, sorry guys. Oh, look at my girl Carly. No, I want to show you guys. I want to do this because I had to post this last night because you literally irritated me. Back at the pool party, Keisha and Sir Julian are talking to Daybella, right? So Keisha asks Daybella, girl, why you didn't come to Carly event? Let me tell you something, Keisha. Your ass is crafty. You're crafty. But I'm put a pin in that because I'm gonna circle back to why Keisha ass is crafty. Let me just continue about this part, right? So Daybella was explaining, and she also explained this when she was introduced on the show. She said that the baby father, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all what the baby father name is right now. Because he's another celebrity. I'm gonna tell y'all his name right now because him and Summer Walker had babies too, and they was arguing to the floor too. I'm gonna tell y'all his name right now. London on the track. So apparently, Daybella's baby father is also London on the track, and according to Daybella, London on the track does not help her. Now, I can't remember if she said financially and physically, but I know she definitely said physically, he's just of no help, right? So she said, listen, life be life, and I'm trying to build up my event planning business. I'm trying to be a mom. I'm trying to hustle. So I cannot be there for everything. She said, but what I did do is I called Carly and I'm like, listen, what do you need? Because as a friend, I want to support that. She told me what she needed. One of the things she said was she needed flowers for her car. So I put her in contact with everybody she needs to speak to make sure she got the flowers. That's what I did to support my friend because physically I just could not be there. Life be life, right? So Sir Julian is looking at her and he's like, I hear all of that, but we're all business owners, right? And me and Keisha made an effort to come to Carly's event, and you're her best friend. So you should have made an effort as well, right? And I'm looking at Sir Julian and I'm getting annoyed instantly as he's telling me this because number one on the list, you're not in Carly and Daybella's friend group, right? It's one thing if It's a group of friends, right? It's four friends. If it's four friends and two feel like one did something wrong to the other, then sure, of course, let me know because you're within this friend group. Sir Julian, you're not in this friend group. So even if you did feel like Daybella was dead wrong for not coming to Carly event, it's really none of your fucking business because you're not in that friend group. How about you go over there to maybe Tucson and Mike, and you get in their business and try to dismantle their shit because those are your people, right? They're of your kind. Stop trying to dismantle this friendship because you're messy, right? So anyway, she was like, he just was saying, like, I just feel like you should have been there no matter what. So at this point, Carly enters the chat. She walks in, so she's like, hey, everybody. And I personally like Carly. I like Carly. She gives off a very sweet spirit and good energy initially. Now, when you fuck with her, you do see her claws come out. But her initial way of entering the space is usually normally nice. And even in her confessional, she's like, listen, but anyway, so she enters the chat, right? So they're like, hey, we were just talking about you. So Sir Julian proceeds to tell Carly how he didn't like that Daybella wasn't at her event, and that's supposed to be her best friend, and yada, yada, yada. And Carly was like, you know what? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You know what Sir Julian said? But it's a big deal for me. And he feels a way about it. Sir Julian, so Carly got in her confessional and she was like, you know, every time I'm in the presence of these people, I just feel like I'm in a freaking vortex and I'm getting sucked in the drama. It's always something. And I was looking at Carly in her confessional, like, yes, Sir Julian, you've been on the show 20 minutes and 18 of the 20, you started fucking drama. Like, why? Why? So I was with Carly on that, right? So, and it's also, I'm not gonna lie, it's also low-key annoying when these gay men are there starting drama with women. Like I'm not gonna lie, on these reality shows, that's starting to annoy me. I'm sorry to say it is annoying me. It already annoys me when women try to start drama with other women, but to have men come and do it as well, I don't like it. I do not like it because it contributes to the separation between women, and I don't like it. Right. So, anywho, Daybella called him messy. So he had the nerve to say he wanted an apology. Daybella said, absolutely not. I will not be offering you no apology. Absolutely not. So, you know, he had the nerve to say, so then we are not letting this go. Sir Julian, it's no we in this. It's only you. You're the only person with an attitude. What are you talking about? We. Carly is not stressed about this. Keisha don't look like she give a damn about it. Carly is not pressed about it. Daybella is not stressed. So it's no we. It's only you, and you're the only person keeping the drama going. So he said, you know what? Y'all being weird, right? Now, when he said that, once again, it's Carly, Keisha, and Daybella standing there. When he said y'all being weird, right? Now, in all fairness to Sir Julian, in all fairness to Sir Julian, right? Maybe they edited this piece. I'm going to believe that they edited something out, or they whispered in light skin Keisha here, hey, we need Brushandia to come in. So cue Brushandia, go, scene. Because Keisha, did Sir Julian say something about Coco Vango sexuality? Because the way you flipped on motherfucking Sir Julian made absolutely no sense to the viewers. I'm sorry. Maybe it's something. Keisha went from 0 to 200 on Sir Julian, right? And I was looking because in my mind, right? He's going back and forth with Daybella about Carly. So had I been Keisha, I would have been looking like this between y'all. So when he said y'all weird, I would have assumed the y'all meant Carly and Daybella. For you to be his friend and assume that the weird included you and flip on him like that, I'm sorry to say, Keisha, you know what it looked like to me. And let me go back to, remember I told y'all, put a pin in the comment where I said Keisha ass is crafty. This is what it looks like to me. in the confessional, you said what we all was feeling, right? You was like, listen, this motherfucker go around stirring the pot, starting shit all the fucking time. I don't have time for that. I have business to handle and things to do. So for him to be going around starting this shit and getting my name in this bullshit, it irritates me, right? You were right about that. You were 100% right about what you said, right? But see, you didn't tell him any of those things, right? You didn't tell him any of those things. You're saying that in the confessional. That's one. Two on the list is that you had seen Daybella one-on-one when y'all went to look at the venue for your pop-up shop. Why didn't you say to Daybella right there, yo, why you wasn't at Carly event, and get your explanation and then take it back to Sir Julian? So just in case he does try to be messy in the future, you could be like, I spoke to Daybella already. She said why she wasn't there. Carly said she was good with that. So leave that alone, friend. No, what I think you did was you asked in front of Sir Julian because you know he's messy and you knew he'd take the bait. So then he took the bait and now he dragged it. What I didn't like about that is you knew you fucking lit that match and you seen that building burning. And in order for you to get a moment, because that's what I personally feel, I felt like your scenes wasn't dramatic enough and production whispered in your ear and told you needed some drama. And you said, well, I'm gonna use the messiest punk in here who I know I could get over on, and I'm gonna use him for the drama. And you flipped on Sir Julian. You flipped on Sir Julian. You was yelling, you was screaming, take this motherfucking mic off me. Don't include me. Don't play with me. And he's looking like, what the hell? And I'm looking the same damn way. Because I'm like, why would you assume the yard was for you? And even if you did assume that, like he said in his confessional, and I'm going to have to agree with Sir Julian, if you did feel that way, you could have put him to the side and be like, bro, don't put me in that. That's between you and them. But why did you think he was talking about you when he was talking to Daybella about Carly? That had nothing to do with you. I think you was trying to get a moment on him. And what I also didn't like was not only did you light the match, now you trying to come in and extinguish it, because everything you said in your confession about Sir Julian was right. It's just that you didn't say it to Sir Julian. You said it to the audience because you want us to believe that, oh, I know he's messy and I know, but you also ignited the mess. And now when you come in to extinguish it, he the only one that gets sprayed. Yeah, I didn't like how you did that. I didn't like how you did that, Keisha. That was very crafty. That was very crafty, because everything you said in your confessional, you were right. You going around putting out fires for him and blah, blah, blah. But check him. Check him. Also, keep in mind, Keisha, he's only around because of you. So if you see you cannot check him and you don't have time for that, because like you said, I'm about my business, then stop bringing him around. But you're not going to bring him around light the match because you asked the question. Y'all go back and watch the episode. Keisha said, why you wasn't at Carly thing? And it lit up from there. Why are you asking Daybella that when you already saw Daybella one-on-one and you could have asked her that then? No, you asked her that in front of Julian because you wanted Julian to take the bait. And Julian did because he's a messy motherfucker. So I feel like that's why I put on the fucking thumbnail. Y'all are messy as a duo. Y'all are weird as a collective. Don't try to just put that on him to make yourself look good to the audience, right? So anyway, she flipping, and they all go inside. So then Ari goes over to check on Carly, and she's like, Carly is giving her the rundown about what Sir Julian said, and that he's upset that Daybella wasn't at her visualizer. And Carly is like, but that does not matter to me. I'm not stressing that. Me and my friend talk. And Ari said it. Ari was like, yo, this one here, he keeps shit going. He keeps shit going. She was like, listen, I'm ready to go back to Miami where it's peaceful because I don't got time for all this drama, right? And you know what, Sir Julian? I'm going to say this. What happened to you was your karma. So even though Keisha was crafty, I don't feel bad for you because what happened was your motherfucking karma. What you did was you came and you saw and you tried to, insert yourself in Daybella and Carly's situation, and what happened was that shit backfired on you and your own friend tore your head off. So that was your karma for all the mess you've been starting good for your ass, right? So he said in his confessional, he was like, all I said was everybody's being weird and Keisha turned into the Incredible Hulk. It never gave that. I'm so confused. And he was right. She did because everything Keisha did, once again, unless they edited something out or unless Keisha, they whispered in your ear, tag Rushandia in, I don't understand why you even assumed that him saying they were weird had anything to do with you. You were trying to make a moment, my dear, and you were trying to make a moment off a situation that you ignited. That's why I put this picture up, because you see you right there, you threw the rock and you hid your hand. Now you standing back like you ain't do nothing. I don't like it. I'm on to your ass, Keisha. So anyway, in the next scene, so after the pool party was over, everybody headed out. Keisha's still in the back yelling like a nut. Sir Julian is in his confessional pursing his lips. That was that, right? After that, in the next scene, Tucson meets up with Crystal. Crystal and a baby. Crystal is the girl that he wants to have the baby with. Remember, she has her own baby already. She wants the baby to have a sibling. Crystal's baby is so gorgeous and so happy. Crystal, that baby is so cute. And not only is she cute, she's so happy. And Tucson is so animated. So every time Tucson do something, she grinning and skinning, trying to get to him. She is such an adorable baby. I thought that was really, really, she's so cute, right? But sidebar, Tucson. Tucson, I can ask you a question, Tucson? Tucson, what you on, baby? What you on, Tucson? Please, Tucson, riddle me that. What are you on, Tucson? I really, really would like to know, Tus. So, Tus, you can let me know what you on. Just put me D. I won't tell nobody what you on, Tucson. Right? Um, Tucson, you were sweating profusely, slurring. Your pupils were dilated, your pores were open, your jeans were dragging, your fitted was dripping. Tucson, what you on, Buka? Okay, could you let me know? I won't tell a soul. But anyway, he proceeds to tell Crystal that he wants to put a pause on the baby situation because he actually sees himself with a future with Mike, and Mike is not ready. And he just doesn't want to throw his relationship off course because he really likes Mike and he wants him to be prepared for such a huge decision, right? And Crystal was so understanding, so sweet, so nice. She was like, listen, I get it. Take whatever time you need. My uterus will be here if you guys decide to, spin a block and want to have this conversation again. Anywho, next scene is Keisha, Daybella, and Sir Julian. They getting ready for the pop-up shop in Coco Vango. Today is the pop-up shop, right? And Keisha still all Sir Julian ass. And I'm looking at Keisha like, Keisha, Keisha, two things can exist at the same motherfucking time. Sir Julian is messy, but you crafty, Kiki. You crafty, Kiki. And I'm watching you for the rest of the season, right? But anywho, they maneuvering around each other. She ain't paying him no mind. She doing what she got to do. He like, listen, I know Keisha off me, but I owe it to nobody else, Coco, to do my job. So I'm just going to handle my business, right? But then he pulls Coco to the side and he's like, can I talk to you? Because basically I'm trying to get a read on your wife. Like, what's her energy today? How should I be moving? Should I leave? Like, what's going on, right? So Coco Vango did two things right here in this part. He basically was like, listen, it seemed like you played yourself according to Keisha, and Keisha ain't like that. Right. And he's like, listen, I mean, pretty much y'all need to square that away. A little part of me felt like Coco Vango looked at it as like a cat fight. So it's like I'm kind of pretty much like I don't really got nothing to do with this because you know how like I know at least for the men in my family or even my boyfriend, right? If I'm telling him a story about me and another woman, I mean, he gonna hear me out. But for the most part, he looking like, okay, girls, you scared? All right then. So I mean, that's it. Like he not really gonna get in that because in his mind it translates to like that's two women, right? To me, I felt like Coco Vango kind of felt that way, almost like this is like a cat fight, and I don't really want to get involved in it. But what I can say he did say in the end that kind of let me know he wasn't only looking at it that way is because he was like, you're the man of the situation. So I just need you to fix it. Right. And I that made me look at him like, oh, okay, Coco, I see what you recognize. Because when I was looking at it, like I thought he felt like it was just a little cat fight, I was getting annoyed because I was saying to myself, well, first of all, I also felt like him saying you the man in the situation, you need to fix it was almost like, or else I'm not going to be able to work with you no more because my wife can't stand you. To me, I wouldn't have wanted my man to give off that vibe. I would have wanted my man to give off the vibe of, I don't care how much of a girl you think or assume or even identify as, you are still genetically a man and my wife feel disrespected by a man and I am her man. So I'm coming to you. What's good? Right? But in all fairness, I understand Coco's approach. He has his own relationship with Sir Julian. I don't know if it's sexual, but he has his own relationship with him. So I guess he didn't want to come so aggressively. But like I said, he did say in the end, like, listen, you're the man. I need you to fix it. So I could respect that because I'm guessing it'll be like if it has to escalate, I did give you the opportunity just because I have respect for you. So I was like, okay, Coco. I mean, I hear you. I come from a very traumatic and violent background, so maybe the Browns really me wanted him to slap dog shit out you, but I get it. That's not the way real life works. Okay, got it, right? So anyway, they flash back to Gloss's house, and her mom came, and came from Memphis, and she said she asked her mom to come because she has shows all week and she really has nobody in Atlanta to watch her kids. She was like, and in all fairness, I could pay a nanny, but I don't want nobody else watching my kids. I don't want no stranger watching my kids. So I called my mom to come out here and help me. Right. And once again, I'm just looking at Gloss up, and you know what? I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna Google how old she is because I just found it really, like, it made me a little sad that she is, what I'm assuming, that young. Oh, okay, she's 27. That's not really. I thought she was like 22 or something. That's not that young. Okay, and she has two kids and two deadbeat baby fathers. But I mean, it happens. It happens, you know. So anyway, grandma came in. Grandma looked good. Grandma looked good, and you could tell grandma is one of them relatively young grandmas, and grandma was basically giving Gloss the business in a nice way. Grandma had on her waist beads. Grandma had her stomach and her hips out. Grandma said she does her sit-ups. Grandma was there with her man, and grandma was looking like, baby, I raised my kids, okay? So, and you need to raise yours. And Gloss' whole point was like, you know what, I need help. And grandma was like, are you dead? Okay, so since you're alive, you can help yourself, and if you drop dead, then I can help you. But at this moment, I'm not raising no kids because boo boo, I raised mine, even with your deadbeat daddy, right? So I understood both their points, and that's really contingent upon how I was raised. I understood Gloss' point because I've always had family support. I tell anybody if anything happened to me, and God forbid I need to pack up my whole life and go live in my mama's house, she will let me, right? And I'm over 40 years old, but that's just because I have family support. I have aunts, I have people that I can go to that have always been there for me, right? So that part of me understood Gloss perspective, but then I understood Mama Love perspective with being the woman that I am. That's how I am across the board. These are your responsibilities, so you need to hold it down. Now, if anything prevents you from doing so that you just absolutely can't, then I can step in, i.e. you're dead. But to take over your responsibilities for you, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me because what I know about that is that gives folks the enabler spirit. And now I'm dealing with a person that feels entitled because all of this time I have been enabling that behavior. So I understood Mama Love with the whole, no, I'm gonna take him to Memphis for a little while, and I'm gonna hold you down a little bit. But I'm not taking this responsibility off your hands because these are your responsibilities, just how you were mine. I raised y'all, right? So I was like, yeah, it was a very, nuanced conversation, but I got it. And you know what Grandma said? She made it abundantly clear. There's a difference between a grandmother and a babysitter. And Gloss was like, I don't think that's right. And the mama was like, I don't give a damn, in a nice way, right? So, anywho, back to the pop-up shop. Tori has arrived. She ready to DJ her life away. They opened up the doors. Things are selling. Tucson's rare smoke station is set up, but there is no Tucson. So Keisha is like, and again, I could see that her and Tucson is more Arby friend, and Sir Julian is more her friend. Because I believe the way she was handling Tucson's unprofessionalism was very delicate and light because I don't have a personal relationship with you. Because I feel like had that been Sir Julian, she would have been ripping his head off, right? So anyway, she just kept doing stuff like Tucson. Has anybody heard from Tucson? Is Tucson alive? Do y'all know where Tucson at? Very nice, very inquiring, very okay. Whereas, no, absolutely not Tucson. So, anywho, girl, Tucson, once again, I think Tucson was somewhere taking a bump. Allegedly, Tucson showed up and he sashayed in and was like, I'm here. I'm here. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Number one, you should have been here long ago, set up your own motherfucking station. Second of all, you should have been here promoting. Third of all, you should have been here before the guests got here. What the fuck are you doing? Once again, Tucson looked like he was flying high. He came sashaying in. And once again, he comes with good energy and all that. But again, I was just annoyed. I'm not going to lie. I was more annoyed than Keisha. So then now this motherfucker comes in and he's like, okay, I'm here. I guess I can start working. Let me start selling my things. So he goes behind there and he's like, well, what I'm supposed to do because the payment system don't work. And do you know this motherfucker had the audacity to get an attitude? You know what he had the nerve to say? If they wasn't so worried about where he was at and worried about making sure the payment system worked, that they wouldn't have this problem. At that point, I was happy that it went off because I almost cursed Tucson the fuck out. Tucson, girl, we won't even go into that. Anywho, That was the episode, ladies and gentlemen. I enjoy the Impact. Make sure you tune into the Impact. I watch it on my Amazon Prime, but it's on BET Plus, if I'm not mistaken. It's on Thursdays. It's really, really good. Y'all tune in. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video. Drop down in my comment section and let me know if I forgot any part, if I may have confuse you on any part, if there's some parts of the story that you think I need to know, is there a character that I left out that you want to discuss, and I'll be back with more reviews of our favorite show. Thank you for tuning in to the Operation Heal 100 Heart channel, where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. You lovely people, enjoy your weekend.